And then finally, this happened during Survivor Series.
Yeah, it did.
I think Don Becker said, and we're not talking about Enzo More here, because God knows he's just an idiot who needs help. I got nothing for him. I'm talking about the David Arquette death match against Nick Gage.
Holy shit.
GCW, sometimes representative of Joey Janela, but it's a company that does a lot of death matches. Last minute, I think, lost their guy they had fighting Nick Gage.
So Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan.
Was Joey Ryan?
It was Joey Ryan.
I can't
Nick
imagine
Gage.
Joey Ryan in a death match.
Especially not after I just saw what happened to David Arquette. So Joey Ryan tore his pec. It's going around apparently. And at the last minute, Joey Janela, who put on this show, who's also out injured, busted up his knee pretty bad, put it together like this crazy idea. On the last minute, he got David Arquette of Scream fame and the movie Ready to Rumble, who is actually in the wrestling business now. He was the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion for a hot second, to go and be the top match at this pay-per-view, which is called LA Confidential.
So here's what's happening with David Arquette.
Right.
David Arquette, from what I'm hearing, I've been reading about it, because I've been following this for a little while. He has spent his life, his last decade or so plus, very upset that whenever, he's a huge wrestling fan.
Huge.
But anytime anyone brings up him having the belt, the WCW 10 pounds of gold, World Heavy, the same belt Ric Flair, Sting, and Hulk Hogan had, it's in jest, and he's always a laughing stock.
Yep.
Like, it is one of the blackest marks on the history of the wrestling business.
True.
He's been very upset about this as a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So he has decided to commit his life at like 48, 49 to become a professional wrestler. And he is traveling the world wrestling in Eddie Federation. He started up from the ground up.
Backyard wrestling.
Learning how to wrestle, working in every indie he can. At the same time, having a documentary crew following him, videotaping this all. Rumor has it this documentary might or might not be called Ready to Rumble 2.
Yeah.
So he is trying to gain the respect of pro wrestlers and the fans that laughed it off. He wants to make it so he deserves to have that belt.
Right.
Title, whatever, championship. And in this case, he wrestled Nick Gage, who's, I believe, a former inmate, and a guy who's pretty much known for murdering people in the ring as well. Did you see the match?
I did.
I saw the last 3 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And it looks like he slipped, he fell. I don't know if he tripped the other wrestler or something went wrong, and he caught a shard of glass, sliced his
Light
tube. And it looks like, I think he thought he might have sliced his jugular.
So I mean, obviously, David Arquette's in over his head at this point.
Wait a minute, he should never have done a death match to begin with.
But he gets in there and he takes every bump, light tubes. He dropped a diamond cutter through light tubes onto Nick Gage. I mean, it was crazy. Blood everywhere. Now, like, the reason I don't go to the GCW matches is because, like,
you're prone to vomit.
I'm not prone to vomit.
You vomit. Your name's Vomitor.
My name's not Vomitor.
You vomit at wrestling.
Vomitor. I never vomited at wrestling match. I don't know. It's a little above my pay grade, like the extreme violence. Like, it's. And God bless them. God bless everyone who gets in those rings and do those shows. And I hope they make a lot of money because they really do love what they do and they put on a lot of amazing shows. It's just like a little above my pay grade. And I'm watching David Arquette do it, and I was like, holy fucking shit. He's going for it. So he gets whacked with a light tube. Nick Gage goes to grab him. He still has like the light tube in his hand, and I don't know if he slipped or he was trying to pull Arquette back, but he pokes him in the throat with the light tube. Blood starts gushing. David Arquette flips around. And you could tell adrenaline everywhere. Slams into the ground. Starts cursing at him. And the match goes on.
Well, no. What happens is he realizes something's wrong. Like I guess he feels the blood coming.
Yep.
He might think he's punctured his jugular.
Yeah.
And he grabs his neck and runs out of the ring. Just slides out of the ring and is looking for a medic.
Yeah.
And it's clear there is no medic easily. You'd think they would have had a medic gimmick right at ringside. They didn't.
know.
He couldn't find one, and he also then realized you could see panic in his face.
Yes.
And he realizes that he can't just walk away because this is a no DQ match.
Yep.
So he has to get back in the ring. Now, I gotta say, I know David Arquette has since released a letter, a statement saying that this is no one's fault but his own.
Yep.
You know, he's just trying to do this for respect to the fans. He said he didn't know what he was getting into. I think that's a little ridiculous. If you've ever watched a death match, you know what you're getting into. It's not fake. But the ref, I think, is the biggest one at fault here. The ref seemed to not have any idea what was going on and should have done something to slow the match down. If this was in the WWE, the ref would have been all over this, knowing something kind of went wrong.
Right.
Whether there's a save for it or not, I don't know. But when you see that kind of look of terror on someone, the ref should have been out there trying to figure out what was going on.
You know, and I don't know how those events go. I've never been to one. Again, all the blood a little above my pay grade.
Your fan grade. Stop saying pay grade. You don't get paid to bleed. You don't get paid to not bleed. You don't get. That's got nothing to do with your pay grade. Your fan grade. I'm good with that.
So it's a little above my fan grade. Better.
Better.
You like that?
Better.
Okay.
Much better.
A little bit of my fan grade, so I don't know. I can't speculate, and I don't want to speak to it. I just know that he got some bunch of testicular fortitude, got back in that ring, and just hit the shit out of Nick Cage with a chair. Went for the finish, no sold the finish, and left.
I believe
fine.
I believe he did that chair spot to tell him that he's not doing well. Please pin me. Because when he first ran in the ring, he fell on the ground, like lie down to get pinned, like finger pointed, poke of death. And Nick Cage's like, I don't know what the hell you're doing, and starts stomping him.
Oh Jesus!
And then he gets up and goes, hey, I think I'm gonna die. Can you please pin me?
Yeah.
And then they do a roll-up pin, and it's the end of the match. And it's not as much he no-sells it. He just runs out of the ring to get medical help.
God bless him.
And so, David Arquette, we salute you. A lot of people called it a shit match. Did you just hit the mic?
I actually hit the mic. Still not used to it down here.
Some people called it a shit match, but I think anytime someone's doing something that I can't imagine me doing much better in a death match anywhere.
Look, whoever would call it a shit match can fuck off. Like, this guy is, I think he's 51, actually.
No, I don't think he's 51. I think it's 49 or something like that.
It's close enough for rock and roll.
Yeah.
He went in at the last minute and did this crazy death match, which, I mean, like, I've seen him do Hollywood wrestling from Championship Wrestling from California. I saw him at the NEW show where he came out and he dropped a diamond cutter on, like, whoever those guys were. Like, the kind of wrestling he does versus what they do in those death matches, like the fact that he even showed up at the last minute, man, anyone who's got any criticism can suck it.
But it also makes great drama for the documentary. I'm really hoping that the documentary ends with him at WrestleMania. Even if it's the pre-show, I would be so happy to finish this. I mean, if this is his quest to make it to the big leagues again and have one more chance, I would love to see him open up the WrestleMania on the pre-show as just David Arquette trying to make his dream happen, living the boyhood dream.
Cool, I'm good with it. I've already bought tickets, so I'm ready to see it.
Перебиты, поломаны крылья, серой болью всю душу свело, кокаина, серебро.